All right. Well, now that Nick has hyperventilated a little bit, let's calm down a bit. We're going to go on to our next segment. This is, of course, our Game of the Week segment, but usually we do one game and we talk about it, but this week there's a lot on the line for these teams involved in these three games, so I thought these would be three games to truly talk about. Again, you see Jets-Dolphins is their first. Again, you heard about what we had to say about Tua in the first segment. This is a huge game for the Dolphins. They have to win if they're going to have a chance to get into the playoffs. Apparently, they need some help as well from a few other teams. So, Tina. Jets, Dolphins this week. What do you think? What do you see? What do you know?
Is Wilson playing or is Mike playing at quarterback for the Jets?
The last I heard, Mike White, I thought was going to start, but that's the last I heard.
I'm going to have to say if Tua doesn't play, I think it's probably going to be the Jets. I would like to see the Dolphins win to show, even if Tua's not in the game, because I'd like them to be able to say, hey, you know what, we did the right thing and we still won. But, I mean, the Dolphins have lost 8 in a row. I mean, they're when they had such high hopes in the beginning. And I'm beginning to wonder if some of these concussions and some of these things that Tua has affected his play through the rest of the year. Like maybe they're not calling certain calls they should be calling because they don't want to put him in a situation where he could get hurt even more. We don't know. But like I said, I think it's going to be the Jets. But that one's literally a coin toss.
For sure. Delilah, quick, your opinion. I mean, it doesn't have to be quick, but your opinion on Jets Dolphins, what do you think?
I don't know because I'm not sold on Mike White either. I'm just
better than Wilson.
I'm not so. It sucks because to me, I think the Jets actually have a really great team overall. They just can't figure out that quarterback thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just they got Sauce. We know that kid, right? He was one of our rookie spotlight. They got, I know the running back went out. We know that was a huge loss for them. But hopefully he'll be back next season. So I feel overall, their defense actually, gets the job done. Honestly, it's just, I feel like if they can get just that QB part figured out, they're going to be a heck of a team next season, honestly, because they have everything else. Honestly, the only thing that's missing is it doesn't have to be an elite quarterback. Seriously, it just has to be, we've talked about it before, a serviceable quarterback will get you what you need. Look what Geno is doing in Seattle, right? We're never going to call him an elite, but the guy is getting it done, right? He's getting it done. And so I feel like, and it's kind of funny I'm saying that because we know that, the Jets drafted Geno when he knocked them out of the contention. But anyway, but I do think that all the Jets need is a quarterback. I don't think they'll ever find another Joe Namath, right? But definitely they just need a quarterback. That's all they need. And I would be very careful next season if they figure that piece out because I think they're going to be a team to beat. Like really up there, they're going to be better than this season if they can figure that piece out.
Hell, the Jets would probably settle for another Ken O'Brien at this point. Anything that's just better than what they've had, right?
Yeah, because come on, are you guys sold on any of these guys? Are you guys really sold on Mike White? Come on, let's be honest.
No, not necessarily, but he's played better. Good. Yeah, go ahead, Tina. Go ahead.
Sean, you don't want my thoughts on Sauce.
All the more reason why you should give them, Tina. Right, let's go. Let's go.
Pads. If you can see shoulder pads, it's interference. The man grabs jerseys more than I've seen anybody else, and I don't know how he gets away with it. But, okay.
Oh, my God, that was good. And Sean laughs. There you go. Exactly. Sean trying to trigger everybody now, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it.
Beautiful. All right. Well, Mr. Handy, we have not heard from you yet, sir, on Jets Dolphins. What do you got to say?
No Tua, no Hua. Jets take it all.
Yeah.
Real simple.
And you're going to give me the Forrest Gump line. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
There it is. But you know what? I'm kind of with you, though. Like, if Tua doesn't play, the Dolphins, because like I said, the Dolphins just seem like they don't play with confidence anymore, regardless of what's going on. And they just look so, like you said, so bad in these last few, 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have looked bad. They don't look confident. They don't look like the team that started the season as hot as they did. Was it 8-1? Like
Even with
they just
Tua.
don't seem like that at all. No, I know, and as I said, like that should be all the more reason, to be honest with you, why Tua should sit. And if they lose, they lose. You're out of the playoffs. You're out of the. I know he. I know Ken O'Brien was legit. That's why I brought it up. The Jets could use another Ken O'Brien, my friend, because he did. And what people don't know, he was in that draft with all the quarterbacks: Marino, Kelly. Ken O'Brien was right in there with all of them in that '83
Elway,
draft.
all
So
those guys.
Ken O'Brien was legit. Ken O'Brien was the man in New York for a little bit when they had some success. Joe Klecko, what was it? Mark Gastineau on defense. That was a great Jets team. But okay, I digress. Back to what we were talking about.
Yes.
But done, man. Triggered left and right today. I don't know what's going on.
Love it.
I might need a beer after this show. I'm telling you, I might go drink some alcohol or something, calm myself down.
Now. What are you talking about?
Well, I probably do. You're probably right, Handy. If I had one, I'd drink one, but I do not. But yeah, I'm thinking it actually might be better for the Dolphins. No lie, whether they tank or not or don't. Not that they will, but you know what? Just take this. Let Tua sit. Take this season off. Let him regroup. If he's going to be able to play, let him get all that rest in. Let him get all his tests done. Let him figure all that out and come back next year with the team you got. And I guarantee you could still smoke everybody in the AFC in that regard. So I would just, shut it down, man. Be done with it and go from there. Again, we've talked about that extensively in the first segment. So let's move on. I'm going to go to Titans-Jaguars next. We'll save Packers-Lions for last for a lot of reasons. But Titans-Jaguars, this is obvious for the AFC South Division. Right? Yeah, the NFL Sack Exchange. All right, Sean, look, if you're going to read my mind or just keep going with me, like, it's not just you and I on the show, buddy. We got other stuff to do. He just keeps throwing up stuff that he knows I'm going to respond to. It's like, he just keep feeding me, Sean. Go ahead. I got it. I love you, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, so let's go to Titans-Jaguars, everybody. Obviously, this is the game for the AFC South. Now, there is a scenario, which I found it hard to believe, but I did read this. Even if the Jaguars lose and the Titans get the division, if the Patriots, Steelers, and who was the other team that's vying for that last playoff spot lose, the Jaguars could still get in even with a loss. I mean, all that other stuff has to happen, so that's a lot. But so Titans-Jaguars, Tina, what do you think here? What's your opinion?
I think this is a toss-up one, but I actually think I'm going to go with Jacksonville for this one. They're actually kind of. I'm looking at what their record is right now, and they're kind of on a little bit of a hot streak right now. It's crazy. I'm looking at the thing. I think it's Miami, Pittsburgh, and New England. If they all lose their games,
right. Miami, Pittsburgh.
Either one of those teams is going to make it in. But the other thing that's strange about that one is that's actually also a 50-50. Like somebody could get in that's literally 8-8 or 9-8, just barely having a winning record.
8-9 if they all lose.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's crazy too. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so I thought Jaguars win and they're in, yes? So they win the division?
Yes.
No, if they win, if they beat Titans, then they win the division. They're the 4th seed.
Okay. Sorry, it threw me off with all the other crazy. I'm like, wait, what?
Right. Okay, real quick, what it is if they win the game outright, if Jacksonville beats Tennessee, they're the 4th seed and the AFC South champion. If the Titans win, they're the champion and the number 4 seed, and then the Jaguars can only get in if, as Tina said, those other 3 teams lose as well. Okay. Then the Jaguars, for some reason, have the 4-way tiebreaker and get the 7th seed. I don't pretend to understand how that works, but yeah.
No, I appreciate
go
that.
Ahead, I'm sorry.
That's what threw me off. Yeah. Thank you, Tina, and thank you, Nick.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Yeah, it's complicated. It truly is. The NFC is a little easier to figure out, so we'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tina. Were you still going? I didn't know if you were.
Nope.
You're good. Okay, no, I did. Delilah, then I'll go to you next on Titans Jaguars. What do you think?
Jaguars, man. I'm going with Jaguars. I've never been sold on Ryan Tannehill on the show. You guys know that. I've been saying that since last season. I'm not sold on that guy. I haven't been sold on this guy. I told y'all this is not the dude. He's not going to take him to the Super Bowl. Everybody's like, no, I'm right. He's not going to take him to the Super Bowl, okay? So it's not going to happen.
We almost beat him this year.
So I'm like, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. And, Malik isn't ready yet. I'm not saying he can't be later. He just needs more development. I think he does, I think it's smart to make sure he gets developed more as a rookie and then come back in. So I still think he has potential. He just definitely needs way more support and training to be NFL ready. So I understand why they're not starting him. But And so I get that decision. I think that is a smart decision by the Titans. But I'm gonna go with your guy Trevor Lawrence, because I know that's your dude, Nick.
Yeah,
I
Trevor.
think
I love Trevor Lawrence. Yeah,
I think he's
absolutely.
gonna go out there. I think he's gonna have a good day, and I think the Jaguars are gonna win the AFC South.
All right, Mr. Handy. How about you, Titans Jaguars?
I do. I'm going to go ahead and make it a triumvirate. This is the time of year when the Titans normally lose some key cog some part of their armor comes loose. Some key part of the armor comes loose. The whole thing was crashing apart. And I do think they got King Henry back, but I just Tannehill's still out, right? Can you guys hear me?
Sorry, we're having a little bit of trouble, buddy. But can you get? Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
We got some really big static there. Sorry.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Stand by.
We might have technical difficulties at the Handy compound. A little bit there. There we go.
How about now? Can you
How's
hear
that?
me now?
Oh, beautiful. There we go. That's what we're
much
used to.
better.
Much better. There you go,
something's happening over here. Something came loose. So you're getting computer microphones right now. This is the time of year when the Titans normally have something somewhere goes wrong, and the Titans wind up falling short. And the question I was asking is Tannehill is out, right? Or is he back? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
believe it's Malik Willis, right? As far as I know, yeah.
No, it's not Malik. They're not starting Malik. They're starting.
Who are they starting?
I forgot. Whoever. It's not. They're not starting Malik though.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. I thought.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not even They're not going with Malik. They're going with.
That being the case, I'm definitely going with the Jaguars.
Josh Dobbs. I'm sorry. Yes,
he
started last week. Correct. Yeah. Sorry, Josh Dobbs. Right. You're right.
The Jaguars. Yeah, the Jaguars at some point decided they wanted to gel, and they're making things happen. I'm giving this one to the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. The last 4 or 5 games, man, they've just come alive, and Trevor Lawrence has been playing great. Defense has been playing much better. Travis Etienne finally got going. This last half of the year, he's really been on fire. Christian Kirk has been just a godsend for the Jaguars as far as receiver. And Zay Jones as well has been playing pretty well. So I think they're firing at the right time. I think they win the AFC South, get that 4th seed. I'm with you guys, Titans, Jaguars all the way, or Jaguars all the way. Now here we go. The last one we're going to talk about today. And of course, you guys don't even have to ask how I feel about this game. I'm sure you already know what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to get my opinion out of the way first and let everybody else talk. Packers-Lions, we know the deal. Seattle currently has the 7th seed, but if the Packers win, they're in. For Seattle to get in, Detroit has to beat Green Bay and Seattle has to win. And for Detroit to get in, Seattle, and obviously they have to beat Green Bay. Seattle has to lose. They have to beat Green Bay, and then the Lions would be in. That being said, for one, did I tell you how much I hate the Minnesota Vikings, especially after this last Sunday, watching that game? How much a 12 and 2 or whatever, 12 and 3
on that game.
12-3 team doesn't even bother to show up in this game? From the start, they looked like they didn't want to play this game. They were lackadaisical. They were just out there running around while Green Bay was doing everything they could to win this game. And win it, they did. It was 41-17 or something at the end. Horrible showing by the Minnesota Vikings, allowing the Packers to be one more game away from getting to the playoffs after the horrendous season they've had. And I get it. They've played much better. Obviously, again, the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've been on fire. Aaron Rodgers looks like the Aaron Rodgers of old, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. But again, it comes down to this game. It's very simple. If the Packers win, they're in. If the Lions win, they got to wait for Seattle and see if they lose. So again, my heart wants to go with the Lions, and I'm taking the Lions. I'm going to be rooting for them, even if I have to go buy a Lions jersey and a hat and sit in front of the television and root for them really hard. I'm going to root them to a victory because I don't want to. And again, if the Packers make it, they do. They'll just lose the NFC Championship game anyways, like he always does. So it's not a big deal anyways. But I'd rather not see the Packers make the playoffs this year. So let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions. And Tina, I'm done. Go ahead. Packers, Lions.
Well, I have to say, as an ex-Bears fan and as someone that comes from a huge Bears family, I can't root for the Packers no matter how much my Aunt Sally wants me to. So I'm a Lions. I want it to be like the first time they met where they get beat 15-9. I go Lions all the time. Go Lions. That's it.
Thank you, Tina.
Short and sweet. No, I got short and sweet. I get it.
It's
Delilah,
an emotional pick. I can't.
I'm with you because, like I said, I have a feeling the Packers will win, but I'm going Lions all the way, man. I just can't. I can't root for them. I don't care what the situation is. Delilah.
So, like, I think the. So I agree with one of our commenters because I don't know who Facebook user is. I don't like how they scheduled this either. Like I do agree that they should even. I get now thinking about it at first, like, oh, of course it's a Sunday night game. I'm like, actually, they both should have been the afternoon game, playing at the same time. Because I do agree that if Seattle does win, what does that do for the Lions? Now, the only thing that could do is that they win out of spite, which I hope so.
We have pride.
You know
That's
what
all
I mean?
You're playing for at that point,
which is what I wanted Minnesota to do. Which is why, I agree. It's so obvious that they did not care about that game at all. Like, and I know people are like, "Oh no," I'm like, "Yeah." We remember how they came back from that 33 miracle deficit and came back and beat the heck. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell that they just did not care about this game at all. They're like, I'm going to the playoffs. Now, you think that they would have cared about the seeding because that would have been more smart, is the fact that they could have taken the number 1 seed and got that bye week.
The Eagles lost. Yeah.
Right. So they could have, and I think that's what happened. I don't think they realized that the Eagles were going to lose that game to the Saints. And they were like, oh, let me not take this game serious. I'll still have the 2nd seed. No, you don't. Not anymore. Congratulations. You dropped the 3rd seed. And it's very possible, and I know we're talking about Packers Lions, it's very possible that the 49ers sneak in there and get that number 1 seed because they're in the number 2 seed right now. Anyway, so it's out there.
Very, very
it's
possible.
Very possible that next week we'll see the 49ers take that number 1 spot. But anyway, so Packers Lions, I wasn't on last week, but the week before that, I mentioned this. I said, y'all letting that team win. And I was going to say, I didn't want to name that team, but you guys knew the team I was talking about. I was like, y'all letting them win. You're letting this man pick up steam again, making him think he's the GOAT, and so, I knew that this was bad, like, because I've seen him do this before. And so I'm like, as much as it pains me, now I will be rooting for the Lions, but I do think Packers will get the win. They're playing at Lambeau. It's in their favor. We know that also the NFL loves Rodgers. And so
now, see, there's the game where I'll be looking for how the refs are playing. Anthony, you talked about that earlier. So, I want to see the kind of calls that go on Sunday, my friend. I want to see that.
Well, we'll see. So, but I want Seattle to win just to stack the cards. So that's why, So for me, I want a Seattle win because then, and I love you Lions fans, and I'm sorry, but then if Green Bay loses, then Seattle gets in there. And
Seattle gets in, right? Spot. Exactly. So,
I know, Sean. Thank you. I was hoping for that too, Sean. I was like, no. But anyway, I think the Packers will get in, but I will be rooting for a Seattle win.
Yeah,
because of that. Me too, it will stack the cards against Green Bay. Sure. If the Lions decide to win out of spite, just to win, what I'm saying?
Just to
go in there and get that win. A little pride. But Sean, I appreciate you, man. I was kind of hurt by that game.
No offense. We knew Carson Wentz, or at least I should say I knew Carson Wentz wasn't the answer. I've said that all year, but again, I digress. Sean, you don't have to worry about the Commanders anymore. And apparently Ron Rivera wasn't sure that they got eliminated after that game, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. Anthony Handy, my friend, Packers Lions, what say you?
I'm with Delilah. I don't want to say it, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. And I said this jokingly a couple of weeks ago. I think he's been off the ayahuasca for a few weeks and he's starting to come back to himself. I'm serious. I am serious. He seems more clear-headed. He doesn't look confused and constipated the whole game anymore.
But he's still going to shit the bed in the playoffs.
I mean, there's a couple times earlier in the season he threw it and he would just throw it past in the dirt and go, man, dude, did I remember to cancel my DoorDash order? Like, that's the look that was on his face. But, like, he's looking more focused. He's starting to look more scruffy, which means he's looking forward to
losing the NFC Championship, like Nick said, and going on vacation. But at Lambeau, I think he's going to pull this one out. I want the Lions to win. I think the Packers will win.
Yeah, thank you. I think we're all on the same page.
I think we all four kind of think the Packers will win, but we're we're rooting for the Lions to somehow pull this game out. Exactly.
No secret. I think the Packers will win, but I will be at home like, come on, Detroit.
I do too, and I'll be watching Sunday night. Oh, wait. I'll be watching from my hotel in Vegas, but so I'll tell you that story later. But anyways, so let's move on.
Is that before or after the NFL kisses your entire backside?
Well, we're going to see, because maybe I'll run into some executives in Vegas and I'll have something to say. I may get kicked out. I might need bail money. I'll be in a Vegas jail somewhere trying to get out.
I was on this trip.
Could you see the Let's Talk Football GoFundMe right now?
Yeah. Please get Nick out of jail in Vegas. He's stuck in there, and I hear you.
We'd get the money real quick.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. I truly do.
I know that.
But like I said, I will tell you more about that later. If it's what? Oh, if it's Davis.
Davis,
yeah, that guy. Boy, that Raiders team needs an overhaul again, and they just had one. You know what I mean? Oh, come on.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.